Good morning. Just wanted to start out a little bit different today because today is 1 year since I broke my leg.
Oh.
And I want to say thank you to all the people that supported me, Margaret especially, but then the whole team that was out there. Denise, Alice, the husbands, everybody was there to support me. And it's been tough going, but I'm here, and it's the best left foot I've got. I just wanted to start out the day by saying that. Thank you all.
Well, good job, Dave.
He's not telling everybody. If you didn't know he hurt himself, you would never know now. You just wouldn't. So, you just would not know. So, well, guys, I'm here. That was a little bit of an emotional start for the day, but it's University of Sewing, and we're Facebook Living it today.
Yes.
And I have Pat here with us, and Dave started us off, so that's all cool. We are going to have our giveaway today is going to be a little different. I decided that we would go ahead and pull this wonderful tote bag out, and I have some neat ideas for tote bags today. And we have a few panels with tote bags.
Yes.
So I thought that this would be a good time. You know, it's that season of the year where we need something fresh and pretty in our lives.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't you think? It's just time. So today we have an unbelievably beautiful Northcott line that we're going to show you. Everybody, literally everybody who's seen it has fallen in love with it. I have not heard one single comment not saying they didn't like this.
Yeah.
So we are going to show that off to you. But what I wanted to go ahead and tell you for our giveaway today is this tote bag, and it's a cityscape. Yep, it's a City Lights Northcott panel that makes up into a tote bag. And just hang in here with us today, guys, because what I'm going to do is show you a neat way that you can create this. And I've made it before without doing anything except for their instructions. And that works okay. But I had a really cool idea the other day.
This.
So I want to show you what we're going to do, because the Northcott line we're going to show you is going to have a tote bag with it also. So this is our City Lights tote bag, and it's our giveaway for you sharing our Facebook Live. And most of you know how this rolls, but hopefully we have some new people today.
We should.
We hope to have some new people today. And in that new thing, what you need to know is that on Facebook, you have this lovely button called Share. And what it does is it goes and shares whatever you're watching to your Facebook feed. So if you've never done it before, that might be true. You know, maybe you haven't.
Or maybe they've not seen the share button.
Maybe they don't even
It's a little arrow.
Yeah, it's a little arrow and it says share. Press that right now.
And go public.
And please let your friends and your neighbors and people that you are friends with on Facebook know that we're out here. Because you know what? The only way this works is if we have a big customer base. And it can't just be our local Bloomington folks. It just doesn't work that way anymore for quilt shops. We need people outside of our own area. And we so appreciate it when you go ahead and share that we give away something every single Facebook Live. So we wanted you to see what we were giving away today. And what you need to do is in the comments, just put in that you shared. And you just write the word shared. It's just that, it's that simple.
Otherwise, we don't know that they shared.
No, a lot of people have their privacy settings set up so that we can't see that. And you know what? Fair enough. I have no problems with that. I don't blame you for setting up your privacy settings the way you are, but let us know. So that's how you let us know. So we're going to give away that cute tote bag. All right, guys.
What do we have here, Margaret?
Oh my God. This is called Morning Mist. And Morning Mist is so appropriately named. And I have out here, we have 3 patterns for this line. We have 3 kits. So we'll talk about those in a minute. But I want you guys to see this made up. This is one of the kits we will be selling. And this is the, I believe that this is the throw size. Because that makes sense.
Yeah, looks sense.
Yeah. Because see, I can hold it from edge to edge. So this is the throw size. So this particular pattern, you can do it as a throw or what I don't. They also have a. We're gonna give me this here for a second.
Oh, this one here?
Here it is. Here it is. Okay, so they have a throw size that's 50 by 70, which is what you're looking at. And this is really interesting because you know what they did with it? They used in the bigger sizes, they went ahead and used the tote bag panel.
Oh.
Isn't that interesting?
Clever.
That was really clever. So they have what I would call almost a wall hanging size, but you can go all the way to a queen size on this. Mm-hmm. So our kits that we made up, we've made up 2 kits so far, and they're in the throw size. But if you want us to make you up one in a queen or the double, we're happy to do that. We have plenty of fabric right now to do that. So this line is just absolutely gorgeous. Now, so we have as I just said, we have it in a throw size. Then we have this one, which is called Twisted Wreath. And I'm going to pull this. Would it be better if I pull them all out of the bag, David?
Doesn't have to be.
Okay. Well, I just thought it might be easier for people to see. So this one, wait till you see this panel right there. Well, you know what? It's interesting. They're calling it a panel, but I'm going to tell you right now, you can use it as yardage. It's really gorgeous. We'll show you these fabrics in just a second, but I want to get the kits, everybody see the kits. So this Twisted Wreath, that is a 57 by 74, so that's kind of getting close to your double size.
That's getting towards the double.
Yes. And then Morning Spin is really interesting because what they did with this is they used a solid and then they used 12 fat quarters. So what I want,
how they pieced that together.
wanted to mention this because if you decide to buy this pattern or if you decide to get that kit, and by the way, this one is set up to be 56 by 70. So that one will be a perfect throw. But think about all the cool fat quarters you've got at home.
You have tons usually.
Well, I mean, everybody's got these really beautiful fat quarters at home. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, well, gosh, take your fat quarters. What if you had the tilde fat quarters? And then instead of using black, what if you decided to use beige? You know, that off-white kind of color that is perfect in the tilde. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? So some of you have been asking me what to do with the tilde fabrics. And I think Morning Spin is going to be a great pattern for you to do that.
That's
wonderful. So I think that that's a really good idea. Okay, so we have got this one I'm going to let you put back in the bag. Now, what I'm going to first do, we're going to first talk about the panel, and then we're going to get all the fabrics out to get you all excited about everything. So we are going to go ahead and lay out the panel. And we've already got these pre-cut in bags, and they're ready to go out the door, guys. We just really fell totally in love with these.
Yeah, we just need you to walk in, pick them up, or order them online.
There you go. Now, I'm going to need you to move these because I've got to get to this stuff. So, there's the tote bag made up. It comes with a cute little thing to say who owned the tote bag, and this is your pocket. And then here's the panel. And isn't that just beautiful? It's so pretty. I love this. So here, and then our straps. Now, what I was what I was so excited about and what I wanted to show off to you guys today is what I decided to do with the panel. So we're gonna kind of fold this up and get it out of the way there because we need the room. We need the room. So, you know what? I just need everything to float so that we can just put it off to where we want. You know how you see it on the Star Trek shows and stuff? They just float things. Okay. So what I did, which I thought turned out really beautiful, guys, is I quilted it on the long arm. So look at that. It's quilted on the long arm. So it's all quilted and ready to make up into my bag. So what I'm going to do with this is I am going to have to finish the edges a little differently. So that's not a big deal because I've got all this beautiful fabric and I'll just wrap it around in bias strips. So then I took my straps. Here's my straps. Oh, we're going to have to move it because you won't be able to see them. Okay, so here's my straps. I trimmed off about, I think it was about 5/8 of an inch off of this strip because I wanted to use my Clover bias strip maker and I wanted to make this into a 1-inch wide strip. And if you see here on the grid, you can see I've already, this is a really cool little tool. So what it does is it's folded this, I just pressed it, and now I've got this pretty strip right here. And what I'm gonna do with it is, you know, I was talking to somebody yesterday and they said, I always do my handles out of webbing. Well,
Okay.
webbing is stiff, it's hard to sew through, and it's also expensive.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking about it and I remembered we had this gorgeous blue grosgrain ribbon. And it just happens to match perfectly. And it's only 97 cents a yard.
Wow.
Yes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this strip and I'm going to, for the length of the strip, I'm going to sew it right onto here on either side. Just sew it right onto there. And then after I do that, I'm going to take 2 strips because it's so expensive. And I'm going to sew these 2 together on the edges. And then I'll have a substantial handle.
That would be a lot stronger.
Right. So these are going to be what my handles are going to look like. So I should have that done and ready for you for next week. So I'm going to do that. I took my pocket and I'm just going to show you a really quick and easy way to do pockets, guys. Pockets are really hard to get your lines squared if all you're doing is just pressing under everything. And it's not a very substantial pocket. So I took some of my extra fabric. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sew 4 seams, leave open a little thing like it's a pillow, like a little baby pillow.
To turn it inside out.
I'm going to turn it inside out, and then it'll actually be substantial enough that when I use it as my pocket, it's going to have that extra weight. And if I really still want it to be even more substantial, I can always take some woven interfacing and do that on it too. And when then I go and make it completely lined, then what's really nice is that when you see the inside of the pocket, it'll be this fabric.
Yeah, my question is, would you put the woven interface in between when you sewed?
I would actually fuse my interfacing to my back of my pocket.
Okay.
And then I would sew these guys together.
Okay.
That's how I would treat that. So that is my ideas for my tote bag here that I wanted to tell you. And oh, by the way, since I have this great little
Clip?
no, the clover tool.
The clover tool?
Yeah, the clover tool. I have this bias tape maker. Now, when I want to go ahead and wrap everything around on this, I can just
go right around.
It'll go right around, and I don't have to do any magic. I don't have to do any magic. I can go ahead. I can sew it right in that fold. I can sew it right there in that fold and wrap everything around here, and then I can just finish it off either by hand or I can stitch in the ditch.
Absolutely. Wonderful.
Really great.
Great
just
tool.
Simple to use.
How would you like this fabric?
Okay, so we're going to start off with some of these gorgeous fabrics so you can see what comes in this line. Now, I'm going to just tell you that I never suspected I would love this, but I think this little touch of kind of a almost sparkly orange in there is amazing. I don't know what they were thinking when they decided to do that, but I think it was just a brilliant addition. Now, look at this. I mean, what a great serrated looking green fabric that is going to work for so many different things. And just so that you guys see that bit of yellow that's in there, now you have a yellow print to go with things. We have another serrated print that will go, and it has these lighter colors. So now you have some lights. We have some more marbly looking, but this is in our blues and greens. So that's really beautiful. How about doing that stripy looking layers of color now in blues and greens? That one I showed you that had the bit of orange, now we're going to get a little more dramatic with that. We have this gorgeous set of colors right here. And that, you know, if you look at a color wheel, blues on one side and oranges on the other, and because it's just a touch of it, it works so incredibly well. Okay, now we have, do you guys remember Bliss with all the dots? Now we have it in yellows and blues and greens. And again, it's just a tiny bit of yellow, so it really works. Okay, we're going to get some leaves action going. All this other stuff I'm showing you is all going to be leaves. And I love that they have this bit of extra dark green in there. Very beautiful. So how about a gorgeous blue background with these brilliant green leaves popping out. They really just, they look like they're, you look like you can pick them off of it.
I know.
Okay. Now we have a much more, what's the word I'm looking, more artful looking group of leaves with a blue on blue. You've got your dark blue and then your brighter blue. Very pretty, wonderful fabric for borders. That bias binding, I think that's what I'm going to use for my bias binding around my bag.
Yes.
Okay, so now we have this gorgeous one that's done in greens. Now the background on this is a pale green. I don't know what it looks like on the camera and on your end of it when you're looking at this, but it is kind of a pale green. So it's really beautiful. Everything just has a really nice painterly quality that goes together. And then our final just plain leaf fabric. This is done on a cream background with these gorgeous green and blue, almost eucalyptus colored leaves on there. Really stunning looking. The colors, especially the dark blue, is almost iridescent. It's so pretty. Now, remember I told you that there was this fabric that kind of had, they said it was supposed to be, quote, panels. Well, it turns out it's not actually, it really is yardage. And what I'm going to show you, we've got to open it up because it is a gorgeous, that way.
Kind of that way.
Yep, there we go. So
Look at that.
this is that fabric. I think we actually need to do it this way.
Okay.
Okay, the reason we need to do it this way is because the leaves would be on top and the bottom would be the ground. So, and look at all those colors that are coming out. It just looks like morning in the forest, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
But it doesn't really, yes, it has a repeat, but you don't have to use this as a panel. I mean, you could totally do yardage with this. It'll be gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is a really stunning piece. You know, I could actually see this as a dress.
I know. I was thinking dress or skirt, a long skirt.
Right. It's absolutely beautiful. So then we've got, that's in one colorway with that very brilliant blues. Now this one has more of a, what I would call a yellow colorway. Not totally yellow, but it's there. It needs to unroll one more if you don't mind, Pat. Because it's too folded down there. We're not getting...
I'm sorry.
There we go. There we go. Look at that. Now, isn't that something else? It just looks like these leaves coming down. I mean, it's just
Can we go stand underneath the tree?
I know, really. It is just amazing. And then the sun's coming out through the trees too. Really beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous fabric.
You know what? My favorite is this one because it's big enough for my quilting.
Now, you have to have a wide back to go on the back of this. And this, it's going to take us a second to unwrap here because to get the 4 folds is always more tricky, isn't it? It's just more tricky. So, we got to turn it around the other way. We're
backwards?
We're back. Well, I mean, we're obviously forwards, but that's the top.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that,
We need to change places, or?
yeah, I think that that's what's going to happen is we're going to have the bolt. So, don't kill yourself. So, okay. There we go. There's no way we're tall enough to do this, but we'll pretend.
We need Caitlin.
I know, we need Caitlin. Caitlin, we miss you. Okay, yes, she's not here today because she actually has a life. So, isn't that amazing? It's so beautiful. And I'm going to pull it up just a little bit so you can see the bottom, because the bottom's like the world in blues and greens. It's just so gorgeous. I don't know what planet this is, but it's really beautiful.
So we make that directional for the backing?
The backing kind of needs to be directional. So you're going to have to think about that when you go ahead and order it. Because it definitely has a top and a bottom. So that is the Morning Mist line. And it is truly stunning. And I am thinking all of you will really enjoy that. So I'm going to go and help. We're going to switch stuff here. So we got to get these other guys. Yep, those guys have to go. All right, now we're really going to switch gears here. I couldn't switch gears more effectively than the man in the moon today. Okay.
I wondered what this line was.
Well, it's not the man in the moon. It's actually called the Hidden Universe. And I'm going to just start off. I'll start off with the boring fabric, which is still very spectacular. This is not what I would call boring, but it is stunning. So look at how beautiful this is for the star system. This is so beautiful. These things, I mean, they really look like you're looking out on the night sky. So that's the boring one. Now, I'm gonna go and show you. These are amazing because what they did, let me take those off. So these are amazing because they are they're not the same print when you go in the fold of the fabric. They're just not the same print. So let's see if I can't get that laid out. Isn't that stunning? Look at these stars popping out. Okay, so do you have anybody in your world who really loves astronomy? Maybe you just really enjoy the night sky. If you live out west and not in one of the cities, you get to see a much more spectacular skies than we do here in the Midwest. But I have this kind of interesting story. I was a little girl, and my dad was a physics professor, and he actually would take me to astronomy lectures. So I would go as an 8 to 12-year-old little girl, and I would go to astronomy lectures at the University of at Penn State University's branch campus. They used to have
colors.
Yes. Well, Pittsburgh has quite the what do they call the observatories where they have the big telescopes? They had one of those.
With big telescopes.
No, it wasn't. They had names for it. Yes, they had a planetarium that we used to go to. And we would get to see stuff like this that the big telescopes would put out there. And it was just so amazing. They were so, these colors and the fabric. This is from RJR. And so you know the fabric's going to be great quality. But what's just shocking about this is that these are so incredible. You just, I can't do it justice. I really can't. It's so beautiful. There is just so much going on here. Look at that. It's just so pretty. So really, really beautiful. And I'm just like, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it, but boy, I'm in love with this fabric. I do know that Rachel, who works for us on Fridays, she has a young daughter who wants to be a NASA scientist.
Oh, perfect
And
fabric.
so she already purchased it, and she's already getting her quilt together for that.
Cool.
So there we go. Some really beautiful. Now there's not a lot to this line. I think there's only 10 pieces. So it's not big. Obviously your blender fabric can be your black. And this is the last of the actual pictures of the solar system. These are really gorgeous, obviously. Just amazing colors. And then, just to finish it up in fine fashion, how about some blueprints of space? I think these are all of telescopes.
Satellites.
Satellites. Okay, they're satellites.
It's space
but they have the
telescopes.
telescopes in them,
Space
right?
telescopes and satellites.
Yes. And so we have it in gray. We have it in this gorgeous white. And then you cannot not have blueprints and not have them
blue.
in blue. So we have them in blue. So I'm thinking this, a couple of years ago, Andover did a really cool line that was all like chemical, different, it was atomic symbols. And it was so cool. I love that line. And this one has that same kind of this is a lot smaller line than that one was. So I think that this might be going to be a little bit easier to use. But boy, won't this be
I have to
just
show my son-in-law this one.
we all have somebody in our lives who has these kind of
Yeah.
interests and love in their life. And now we finally have, couldn't we make a great men's button-up t-shirt or button-up shirt?
Oh, I know.
I mean, a nice little short sleeve shirt, I think it's going to be perfect for that. That isn't all that came in this week, guys. But as you can see, it was just an amazing group of fabrics. Now, there is some other lines that came in that we will talk about next week, but it's already 10 o'clock.
We're going to talk about the summer camp.
Oh, we have to talk about summer camp. Yes, we have to get that in. Let's get summer camp in. Dave already did us a nice job in putting out our samples. We are going to do a summer camp for kids. Our dear, wonderful teacher, Cheryl, is going to do this with them. And there's 2 sessions. If your kid is between 11 and 16, this is going to work out really well. We will teach them how to use their sewing machine. They are going to go it's in the first week of June and the second week of June. And then we have in July, the second week of July and the third week of July. So yes, it is a total of 8 days each time because we want them to be able to actually make stuff. So here's a really cute little pillow that they're going to learn how to make. And there's another one that they're going to do. So they are going to learn how to do some really fun things, very beautiful fabrics that we have here. A lot of the materials are going to be included, but we also want the kids to have some opportunity to pick a few things out. So not all the materials are included, but we have a nice start. So hopefully you have a grandchild or a child that will want. Don't forget to share. We're going to give away the City Lights tote bag. and that is a panel that you can cut up and make into your own tote bag. We gave you some ideas on what you could do.
And the instructions are actually on the
The
panel.
instructions are on the panel. So make sure that you go into Facebook Live, hit share, and then tell us in the comments that you shared. And everybody, I hope you have a fantastic Saturday. If you have a child graduating from IU this weekend, go IU graduates.
Yes.
We're very happy for you. IU is kind of crazy and everything's a little wild around here this weekend. But you know what? Our online store is open and ready for business.
And we're ready for you.
Yes, and it is. And if you have any problems, if something's not working right, we are in the midst of a big, big change with our website. So if you find that you're having problems finding something or you can't use something, call us because we want to know. We want to know if there's any problems. So our phone number's right here on Facebook that you can see it. Our phone number's on our website. Please hang out with us on Facebook and on YouTube. We'll see you next Friday for Facebook Live.
Bye.
Bye.